What's good, YouTube? Mr. Baker here. Today I'm with
Eddie Farmer.
And what'd you do this past weekend, man?
Last weekend I got 4th place at the Richmond Regional in Virginia.
All right, what were you playing?
I was playing Tearlaments Orcust Horus pile.
Pile.
Not really pile, but yeah.
Fair enough. All right, sounds spicy. You have any shout-outs, anything you want to say before we get into it?
Yeah. Shout out my wife for supporting me. Shout out all the rally guys. Shout out Mr. Baker for doing the deck profile.
Appreciate you.
And shout out Sleepy YGO.
All right, sweet. All right, man. Further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah. We'll start with the best engine. Horus, 3 Mseti, 1 Happy, 3 King Stark. If you see any of these 6 cards, then you are way ahead in the game. Mseti goes without saying, but like King Stark just discarding Orcust cards is great. You don't want to draw Happy. Some of my worst hands had Happy in them, but it's okay. Like, it's worth playing these 6 really good cards for the 1 brick.
Okay.
And obviously these make the Zombie Vampire or Dingirsu later on. Then we got the tier cards, 3 Planet, 3 Kashtira, 3 Rhino, and 3 Names. Would play more of these if I could. More of this especially.
Absolutely.
But, these 9 by themselves are even just good cards for the Orcust engine. This helps make Bahamut Toad, so Bahamut Toad is on the end board all the time.
Okay.
You can search this off of Fenrir as well, which I guess I could have put with these guys. 3 Fenrir. Fenrir is just super good this format. I think it's super good going into the next format too, but searching tier cache it makes the deck work pretty much.
It's pretty strong.
My turn and their turn. And spells and traps are 2 and 2. I wouldn't want more of any of these. This is really good.
Did you think about like crime or like metal noise or anything like that?
I thought about siding a crime, but you really don't end on tier monsters that much. The Soliac is mostly for when you set up the Tearlaments Orcust in hand, or you just make Collide of Heart randomly, like during your combo. There's not really a consistent way to go for any of that, and it's not really a tier deck, so ending with crime live is kind of tough. Plus, you don't keep a lot of cards in hand.
Okay.
Orcust Engine, Girsu, Harpar, Nightmare, Wand, Skeleton, and the Spell and Trap. You don't need more than one of any of these. If you play correctly, then you can keep these going forever. Obviously, there's 6 bricks, but 1 good card, and if any of these end up in the graveyard, you're pretty happy. Worst case, they just get fused into Mud Dragon. Symbol targeting one of these guys can start a combo. Like, you could do some funny stuff with them.
Okay.
And non-engine, 3 Gamma Seal was really good. It's mostly an aqua, but definitely helps get over some of the really problematic guys. Like, I kaiju to Chimera Fusion, like one of the fusions, so that I could start playing past that.
Okay.
Helps you beat over stuff sometimes. Like, Gamma Seal is just really nice. 3 Super Poly is like the card of the format. Every time I drew this, I was happy.
That's a good call.
Every time I drew this, I won. This stopped many Crimson Dragons from summoning many calamities. Shout out Super Poly. And Foolish.
Can't forget the Foolish.
Not much to say about Foolish, I think.
Anything you would change main deck wise?
No. I think the main deck was pretty much perfect. It's not the most consistent deck, but as long as you play as well as you can, the results will be good. Biggest thing I would change maybe is bumping down on the number of Rhino Heart and bumping up on the number of Girsu. Like, I might try to play more Girsu if I played this deck in the future, but
okay.
It just flows really well. I didn't really have any problems with it.
Solid.
These backwards. Extra deck, 4 fusions. You make Mud Dragon first most of the time. Mud Dragon lets you make Dragon Suppelia later. Garura is there just for when you have 2 names engraved and you want to put one of them back. Sometimes I would turbo Garura so I could try to draw more, so I could try to draw into the Horus engine in the middle of doing all my stuff.
Okay.
And Kaleido's Kaleido. You have to play Kaleido.
Good card.
It's kind of hard to make in this deck, but it's kind of hard to make in tier just in general now, so I think it's still fine. Wouldn't play more fusions than this. Probably, like, if I had a 16th extra deck slot, it might be a second Mud Dragon. That's pretty much all I would do.
Okay.
Generic links, dark, IP, SP, and sprint is kind of generic. I only played link 2s in this deck, no higher links. Dark is dark, you always play dark. IP, quick effect go into either of these guys is really good. Sprint is not really necessary, but I really liked it at least. Sometimes you could end, like, even just like IP plus like a random monster plus Kaleido is like a really scary board because you have a spin plus you can fusion summon with the sprint.
It's pretty solid.
Or you can just go into SP, which is what everyone's doing. It's SP. Like, you can just end on SP also. Dark doesn't do anything crazy, I think. It mostly makes SP or sprint with their effects, so
Okay.
kind of nice. Orcust monsters, I couldn't fit more of them. The biggest issue, I think, is the extra deck is so tight. I wish I could play more fusions. I wish I could play bigger links. I wish I could play more Orcust monsters, but you really only need 2 of these. It's the same as the main deck. You just, as long as you play correctly, you never need more.
Okay.
Bahamut Toad. This is the space that you could make, but these guys were so good all weekend that I don't know if I would play this deck without them. Like, Mud Dragon plus Rain of Heart is so easy to go for, especially just with the random mills, and like sometimes you do actually just link off Toad and this guy for sprint to add back to your cache, and then that's your end board. Like, that's really strong. Like, you could definitely play without these though, and then maybe bump up on the links, like add Bowl Sword is something I was thinking about playing because it helps you end the game a lot better. But this deck pushes for damage a lot anyway.
Okay.
Zombie Vampire, you need it for the Imseti line. Gotta play this guy. He's the reason the deck works. And Redoer and Typhon. Redoer is really nice just to fix some weird void states where you have just like an Orcust monster plus Sharon, and like just linking those off isn't very good. So overlaying for Redoer and then activating Redoer effect to use Sharon effect is really good. Typhon is easily cuttable. I made it like once or twice this weekend, and whenever I made it, it wasn't amazing.
It just felt subpar.
It's definitely subpar. It pushes for damage a little bit. Like, that's kind of what the best way to use it, I think. But most of the time, like, the math just doesn't work out in this deck. Like, if you really want something to end the game, it should be a Link 4. And if you really want like a utility guy, it should probably be like Unicorn. I think like you could add Unicorn Access Code, and that might be even better.
Ah, okay, I see.
I just didn't think Typhon was that good. It's kind of unfortunate.
Okay.
Side deck, going second cards, 3 Phantasme, 3 Droll, 2 Nib.
How was the Phantasme?
These were all good. Phantasme is great. Everybody's making IP, SP. Some people are ending on IP, which is even better for this. Like, it beats over SP. It beats SP effect. It draws you into these other cards. It discards Orcust cards sometimes. Like, he's really good. I think we're going to see a lot more of him next format.
Okay.
Droll was decent. I didn't side it in a ton, but like it came in the matchups it needed to and did well in the matchups it needed to. Nib was kind of just the last 2 slots, pretty much. Nib was all right.
How many people you hit with the Rod, Jay? Or last weekend?
One guy twice.
Twice? Oh, that's tragic.
At least. I don't remember the other times. There was one time where like I nibbed him on his first turn, and then like I couldn't kill him because I didn't have a way to kill. And I drew the second nib for turn, which was crazy. But like this was like Phantasme Droll nib against Medium.
Oof.
And then I got to hit him with the nib chain nightmare combo to put on my 0 cards. Nib was fine though. Like I think Nib's fine, but I don't play enough hand traps for it to be really good. It could probably be a board breaker. Like I was thinking about playing Droplet. I think that was the slot before this.
Droplet is solid.
Pank back at 2. Pank's really good. Pank was the best card in the deck, side deck. Easily would play 3 if I could. Like Pank should have won me the finals, but I didn't win it. So
What happened?
Rescue Ace had one more back row, and I just didn't pop it with Pank because I thought I would play through it, but then it just ended my turn, which was unfortunate.
Unfortunate,
just bad thread analysis on my part. Like I deserve to lose that one, but Pank did all the work you needed to do.
So,
Going first cards, anti-spell is pretty good. I don't think there's much to say about that. And 2 shufflers. These went in every time I went first, and also in matchups they were good. They still went in going second, but they just went in when I was going first for resource management. Like, obviously they're good interruptions sometimes, but like just putting back the generic stuff is really good. Like extra deck stuff back in my deck, really nice. Lets you play on the next turn. Like sometimes you have to just shuffle back Galatea Ding to like make Galatea and Ding on your second turn. These guys were great. I would maybe main them if I could figure it out.
Okay. What was your total deck count?
40.
40?
Yeah.
You didn't want to play 42, potentially like having them?
I just valued playing 40. I want to see the Horus cards a lot more. You might be able to bump the deck count up next set if you want to keep playing this deck with the field spell, the Horus field spell that just searches Imseti. You might be able to do that. Like you really just want to see the power cards, and you really want your mills to hit the Orcust monsters. So you don't really need to bump it up. I wouldn't bump it up to play these. Really, is what it is. Like
Okay.
I'd cut like going second cards for those ones.
Fair enough. Any last words you want to say?
Don't play this deck.
All right. Appreciate the profile, man. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Like and subscribe, man. Appreciate it.